So, do you have any idea what we're going to be talking about today based on my getup? For the most part, I like to dissociate myself from certain online conversations because I think they're dead ends, because I think there's no conversation, because I think people are bored and they're looking for things to be mad at. Now, granted, I think we've all been there. We've all been in dark parts of our lives and we've gotten mad at the wrong things for the wrong reasons. What's been happening lately with the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad has been so outside of any reasonable dimension that I don't really know what exactly to say. Now, I know a lot of people have opinions about this being a Nazi-leaning ad, a eugenics type of ad, an ad that is advocating blonde hair, blue-eyed, Aryan type of supremacy, and I have quite a bit to say about that. Now, let me be very clear about a couple of things. I don't consider myself a hater of many things. I have not seen anything with Sydney Sweeney in it. That was done on purpose. I'm not a hater, but I think I am quite close to it, mainly because I find her completely insufferable. So even covering this and listening to her voice has been like taking a potato peeler and swirling it into my ears. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on. I think we all collectively forgot that American Eagle exists for good reason, because maybe it should have died in the late 2010s, which is the last time I recall it being relevant in any which way. So anyway, they came out of the cave that they were hiding in and did an ad with Sydney Sweeney, which from a marketing PR standpoint, very smart, because everyone and their mom is talking about Sydney Sweeney, whether it's about being in love with her or just really horrible negative things, which I'm not going to get into. So smart in terms of business. People have been critiquing the ad because of what it says. I'm going to show the ad here and hope I don't get copyrighted. I'd say to put on earplugs, but you kind of have to listen to what she says, so I apologize.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
A quick additional point. If this is a very shocking ad to you, I have extremely bad news about ads back like even just in the 90s. If we're going to talk even about Brooke Shields, if we're going to talk about Kate Moss, there are a lot of ads there that not only were sexualizing minors, but that were far, in my opinion, more depraved and concerning than this. So that's not to say that you can't be concerned about this, that this isn't alarming to you, whatever. What I am saying is that we need context, and we also need to address the fact that ads have always targeted insecurities of sorts, especially with women. It's weaponizing women's quote-unquote weaknesses, faults, fragilities, and trying to turn them into a product you can buy. So honestly, do I expect morality from any of these people? No, they're just trying to sell, and it doesn't matter how they get you to buy. Even if it's just screaming about shit on Twitter, you're not necessarily buying, but that is free advertisement, isn't it? So again, we're all playing into their game. They're not moral. They don't represent anything good, and that's why I do not expect anything good from them. That doesn't mean you have to let everything slide, but this is par for the course. So, as you might have guessed, people are mad because of the pun between good genes and good genes. Genes as in the pants, and genes as in what's part of your DNA. This is one of the most basic ass puns anyone could make. In fact, when I was talking about it with a friend, I said that it was a childlike pun because a child could make this pun. It's not deep, it's not making any big points, and the average Joe/kid gets it. Now, along with Sydney Sweeney's vocal fry, or whatever you want to call that type of voice, it doesn't come off as a particularly intellectual ad. And this is where I make my point. I do not think American Eagle has people who are, I don't want to say intellectual enough, but I don't think that they have people who are out here thinking about big life goals that some Aryan person would have or some pro-eugenics person would have of saying, hey, take Sydney Sweeney, put her in an ad, and remind everyone that we only want people with blonde hair, blue eyes, and very white skin. I don't think people at American Eagle are going for that. Are there potentially racists in American Eagle? Sure. Do I think that this was a targeted ad, a dog whistle for Nazis? No. Also because if this were that, sure, maybe the Nazis want someone who sounds brain dead. On the other hand, I think that if we are going to go for a full eugenics angle, if we're thinking like we're the bad guys, would you not want to put someone who doesn't come off as a bimbo? And this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying Sydney Sweeney's dumb. I have no idea what her intellectual capabilities are. In this ad, though, she's not selling any type of smart boss babe vibe. She's selling blonde bombshell, which is totally fine, but that doesn't go with the message of eugenics. Not in my mind, anyway, because eugenics, as far as I recall, was not just about a look. It's also about brain power. This ad appeals to women wanting to be sexy, which is completely fine. I support that. And it appeals to men who like sexy women, right? And I'm sure a lot of other demographics, but the main point is being attractive and being attracted to. Bringing in these more intellectual arguments as opposed to just basic human instincts, I think is not it. I do not think that this has anything to do with any type of political leaning, existential leaning, if we really want to go there, if we're talking about basically choosing a master race and eliminating every other race, or anyone who doesn't fall within the categories that that race wants, the blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. I don't think American Eagle is out here making that type of point. Also because if we're going to think about this really rationally, which it's hard to do because to me this all sounds very ridiculous, but if we're going to lean into it, okay? Let's say we have George. George is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very white-skinned, extremely pro-Aryan man. He is all about white power. What impact does an American Eagle ad using Sydney Sweeney have on George? Will George be enthused seeing such an ad, thinking that it's leaning his way politically? Sure. Beyond that, is it doing anything? Beyond that, is anyone looking at American Eagle to be telling us what we should be thinking, believing, saying? Does anyone even recall American Eagle? Are they even a respected fashion house? Like, from the more significant questions to the more ridiculous ones, as I've just stated, American Eagle has no legs to stand on. They were a forgotten brand. This is a strategy. Now, I don't think they even knew it was going to pan out this way, that it was going to go into a Nazi direction, but I think they kind of knew what they were doing because Sydney Sweeney has a way of just bringing scandal with her, whether it's rumors about her having an affair with a fellow actor. It's just continuous with her. And I think that if you ask me, and this is a little bit of my hater chiming in, that is her main selling point. I'm not sure there's talent there. Like I said, I don't really care to see any of that content. But if there is a talent, to me it seems to be scandal, because whether I want to hear about her or not, I'm hearing about her. So that's all really I have to say about this. I really don't think American Eagle was trying to make a statement, and even if they were, part of making a statement is knowing what your voice is and who's listening to you. And I really don't think that the people who are listening to American Eagle or remember that American Eagle exists are the ones who are going to take some hard political stances. So, if American Eagle was effectively trying to do some Nazi dog whistle with the pathetic pun that is jeans and jeans, where did it get them? It got them absolutely nothing except for scandal. I don't know if they've sold more or less based on this scandal, but realistically, I don't really think we can read all of this level of politics, existentialism, human rights into brands that are, especially brands that have been dead for a while, brands that are really trying to resurface. I really don't know if you can put all of that on them as much as you can put the fact that they will do anything to get eyes on their products. You guys can let me know what you think about that. I think that people's outrage has gone a little bit too far on this. Even if you do think that it's a Nazi dog whistle, we need to remember that nothing's confirmed and all of ours are opinions. So as much as I think that all of this is being blown out of proportion, that's just my opinion. That doesn't mean everyone has to shut up. The same way that because you might think that it is a Nazi dog whistle, it doesn't mean we have to overthrow American Eagle. What it does mean is that maybe if you do shop at American Eagle, you can rethink that if you think that this is a Nazi dog whistle. If you're like me and forgot forgot that it existed, we will continue on just like before, forgetting that that brand exists. Regardless, I think that also this is taking away attention from more important things, because granted, if this is a Nazi dog whistle, that's a conversation we'll have, but realistically, as of right now, other things are going on that need our more immediate attention, and I don't think that this is really a conversation that is super, super necessary right now. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.